Sister Wives star Kody Brown is now squarely in the spotlight, not just for how he treated his wives, but for supposedly abusing money that belonged to his ex-wives. Years working in sales have not apparently taught him that his exes are not buying what he has to sell this season, especially not the excuse that he never loved them. Hello, guys. Welcome again to Reality Recap News Update. I'm Ania. Hopefully, you're all doing great by God's grace. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for updates. So, then, why did Kody Brown claim he never loved his ex-wives? Although he once professed he was doubling his love of his first wife, Mary Brown, through to his fourth, Robyn Brown, it's since been revealed that maybe he didn't feel as strongly for all of them as he previously indicated. He does not want to own up to the fact that he actually loved me, Mary told host Sukanya Krishnan during the May 25th Sister Wives one-on-one special. And to be honest, that's okay. My problem is, how about just say you did and your feelings changed? That happens. It's fine. Mary, who is 54, said she can even accept Kody falling more in love with Robyn once he has married Janelle and Christine. But the worst part is that he appears to diminish their past and the foundation they established. He's diminishing me and what we had by behaving as though it never happened. Even Robyn, Kody's lone remaining wife, isn't completely supporting him on this. To say he never loved his wives? I feel like that's rewriting the past, she told her own sit-down with Sukanya. That sounds like pain talking. That's bitterness. That's anger. Because when we first started dating back in the mid-2000s, he made it clear he loved his other wives. As it turns out, the hate-love line may be finer than we've ever imagined. Still, Kody clarified that his remarks stemmed from having been so deep in the emotional wake of his breakups. I've definitely had a breakup period where I was like, I never loved them, he confessed. That was just me being in my feelings at the moment. Now that more time has passed since those splits, Christine's in November 2021, followed by Janelle and Mary's the next year, he says he can see that his love for Robyn just hit different. Their 2010 spiritual marriage felt like a new level of connection. Your way of relating to different people is your own, Kody said. Your relationship with each child is unique. Your friendships are unique, some more so than others. And with Robyn, it's like I experienced a higher love. And rather than having people be happy for me, I get bashed for it. He added, there's something of the divine in my relationship with Robyn, and we've taken blows because of it. I've gotten to the place where I just want peace with her, but I'm finished feeling guilty about loving Robyn. So don't look for Kody to accept the bulk of the blame for the way things went wrong with his other wives. And with 3 additional segments remaining in the Sister Wives one-on-one special, there are still additional revelations and more blame to be had. For now, grab a cup and sip on all of the tea Kody and his wives, old and new, are dishing this season. In the meantime, Kody Brown is allegedly so over Sister Wives viewers badgering him about his Robyn era. Guess he's had enough. Having been the face of TLC's Sister Wives for years, the controversy around Kody, particularly regarding his relationship with Robyn, has only mounted. What had been perceived as the strong head of a polygamist household, Kody's public persona has suffered severely with the growing light on his relationship with Robyn. While fans didn't spare any words in their criticism over the years, it now seems Kody is willing to put his foot down. When Sister Wives first started, it was intended to be an inside look at Kody's life with his 4 wives, a delicate balancing act of love, marriage, and religion. But as the years have passed, what was once a close-knit family has fractured. And for many longtime viewers, there is one name that seems to be the source of it all, Robyn Brown. That's right, since Kody Brown spiritual unioned with Robyn in 2010 and eventually made her his lawful wife, Fans have been accusing him of favoritism. They think he always kept Mary, Janelle, and Christine on the periphery, and many contend it was this favoritism that finally destroyed the Brown family's cohesion. After years of fan outrage and constant online speculation, it now appears Kody has reached his breaking point. Kody recently expressed in an interview with Sukanya Krishnan for TLC his frustration regarding the way the public views his relationship with Robyn. "It's unrealistic," he told her, especially in a plural marriage, to have equal emotional depth with all partners. He said his love for Robyn is both real and spiritual, and maintained that he's sick of being punished for loving her the way he does. And though Kody might be unapologetic about his relationship with Robyn, fans continue to view it in an entirely different way. Once the patriarch of a successful plural family, Kody Brown created a whole reality television empire with Sister Wives. But now, jump forward to the present. He's got only one wife, Robyn. So how did someone who so fervently believed in polygamy end up in what's now technically a monogamous relationship? According to Kody, it wasn't exactly by choice. Let's go back. Kody wed Mary in 1990 and afterward formed spiritual marriages with Janelle and Christine. Everything was different in 2010 when Robyn arrived on the scene. The audience sensed from near the beginning how much Kody was into her, more so than they ever had seen with the other wives. He kissed Robyn prior to marriage, which he did not do to any of the others. He actually assisted her in the selection of her bridal gown, and eventually divorced Mary lawfully so he could adopt the children of Robyn. That one action shook the entire family structure. Christine walked away first in 2021, having spent years feeling overlooked and emotionally unengaged. Janelle followed a short time later, fed up with Kody's strict COVID-19 measures and emotional distance. The longest-holding wife, Mary, followed eventually, opting to retreat from a marriage that had long disintegrated. Ultimately, Kody was left alone, with Robyn the only one by his side. The man who advocated plural marriage is now a monogamist. Kody Brown recently made more controversy surrounding his most recent statements on the roles of mothers and fathers, and a lot of fans weren't going along. On an episode of Sister Wives, Kody explained his perspective on why mothers and fathers express love differently. He explained that while mothers tend to give their children unconditional love, fathers are supposed to give their children more tough love. He continued to explain that dads like to hear people out and attempt to fix problems, rather than simply console their kids. Of course, quickly following his comments were the negative words of fans. Sucker for Reality even reshared his remarks. Most of them criticized him in the comments section for applying archaic gender roles and for applying this rationale to justify distancing himself more from his older children. Let's not forget, Kody dove into polygamy in the early 1990s with Mary, Janelle, and Christine, and the three of them had a large family together. Kody fathered 13 children over the years, 6 with Janelle, 6 with Christine, and 1 with Mary. He was for a long time considered a hands-on, committed patriarch. That all changed when Robyn came along. With his attention turning towards Robyn, his relationships with the rest of his wives and most of his kids started to unravel. Once Janelle, Mary, and Christine left between 2021 and 2023, Kody's emotional bond with his kids took a further downward turn. He started keeping his distance, particularly from the older kids who openly disapproved of Robyn. Kody allegedly insisted that his kids apologize for disrespect they showed Robyn, but when they failed to, their relationships continued to worsen. The family no longer celebrated holidays like Christmas together, and some of his kids allegedly even went without a birthday call from him. Meanwhile, Robyn's children still got love, attention, and presents from Kody, making a clear contrast that didn't escape fans. Now, with these new fatherly comments about motherhood always being more nurturing than fatherhood. Kody appears to be legitimizing his emotional distance. But rather than introducing healing, the remarks seem to be pushing him further away from his children. And in spite of knowing his words won't be popular with them, Kody doesn't appear too bothered about reconnecting those severed ties any longer. The Sister Wives reality star Kody Brown remains to be played as the villain of the show, and his latest statements have done nothing to quench the flames. Fans quickly criticized him for perpetuating negative and outdated gender stereotypes, especially when it comes to parenting roles. Even some viewers shared their own anecdotal stories, telling of fathers no less loving, caring, and emotionally present than mothers. To some, it appeared as if Kody was merely attempting to justify his emotional distance from his grown-up children on the basis of outdated parenting values. And viewers didn't hesitate, accusing him of belittling the many dads who exhibit steady emotional involvement in the lives of their children. In past seasons, there was a lot of emotion when Janelle saw one of the tribute signs dedicated to her deceased son, Garrison, at the Flagstaff Humane Society. Kody and Robyn traveled to Wyoming for the funeral, along with some other members of the Brown family, and all of them came to pay their respects. The family came together to bid farewell, and Garrison was buried close to his grandparents. In a gesture of solemn obligation, Kody even went so far as to dig the grave. It was an unusual moment of togetherness during a season, otherwise filled with tension. Sister Wives, the reality show about the life of Kody Brown and his 4 wives, only one of whom is legally married to him, and their 18 children, has long probed the intricacies of plural marriage. The Browns have weathered life's numerous challenges with differing levels of cohesion, and season 19 has been no exception. The season's dramatic peak arrived with the sad death of Garrison Brown, which delivered moment-to-moment sadness to those watching. The concluding episodes resonated deeply with many, but it was the tell-all that generated buzz. These specials are always attacked because Kody has a tendency to avoid difficult questions. But this time around, fans received a bit of a surprise. The host, Sukanya Krishnan, was not afraid to get deep, and it was some jaw-dropping moments. Kody went into one of his usual long-winded monologues when Suki brought up the idea that he favored one wife over the others, specifically Robyn. When the host pointed out that polygamy is supposed to be rooted in equal love, Kody didn't take it well. He shot back, his face flushed with frustration. "Try that! Your relationship with each child is unique. Your relationships with your friends are unique. They provide different things, different satisfaction." He continued with exaggerated flair, insisting that he'd found a higher love with Robyn, and has been criticized relentlessly for it. "There's something divine about my relationship with Robyn," he said. "And we've been slapped down for it. I'm at the point where I'm walking around flipping 2 birds because I'm tired of being guilted for loving her." Fortunately, Mary and Janelle weren't having Kody's try at spiritualizing his favoritism. No, they actually mocked it. Suki brought up the fact that Kody had previously stated his aspiration was to bring all his wives up to that level of love he has for Robyn. Janelle laughed and told him, "Would have been nice if he told us that then." Maybe that's revisionist history too. Addressing the camera, Janelle further said that her former husband never once made her feel as though he was attempting to raise her up. He just never expressed that to her. Mary concurred, informing the host, "That's not fair for him to say. We're not all supposed to be Robyn. I'm Mary. I'm not going to be Robyn. I don't want to be Robyn. I want to be myself." Asked if she thought Kody might ever have loved her just as much, Mary replied it would have only been possible had he loved her for who she was, and he hadn't. Not for the last 12, 14 years, or perhaps even longer. And although the list of suspect things Kody has uttered or done throughout the years is long, this time even Paedon Brown had to admit his latest remarks left her embarrassed. On the Sister Wives tell-all, six-time mom Paedon Brown shared one of her greatest presidential regrets from her marriage to Kody. Describing it in a vulnerable moment, she revealed that she used to make everything in her life revolve around what Kody wanted and needed. It's weird and honestly humiliating to say, but my whole life was about what Kody needed, what the family wanted, she revealed. I was obsessed with that man more than I should have been. Paedon paused to sit in her discomfort but went on describing. Even when Kody wasn't there in person, she'd schedule her day around his eventual return. He didn't simply integrate into our lives. We had to reorganize everything to accommodate him, she described. That is not okay. That is not fair. That made everything about him. Eventually, though, this disparity was too much for Paedon, and fans have loved watching her come into her own since. Now, however, viewers are all but salivating over part 2 of the tell-all to find out what else happens next. Rumors have been circulating that Sister Wives could be on the chopping block following season 19, and it wouldn't be surprising. After all, the show appears to have lost its steam. I have seen a lot of reality television in my time, but Sister Wives was always different. The show's singular interest in polygamy made it one of the most engaging shows on TV, particularly with a cast of such breadth and vigor as the Brown family. With 4 wives and 18 children, Sister Wives gave us an interesting glimpse into a way of life not many people knew existed. Everyone in the family contributed something unique to the television screen. But time changed things. Kody's relationship with Robyn grew closer, and his relationship with his other wives and kids fell by the wayside. And Mary, Janelle, and Paedon gained strength to move on and create new lives outside of their group marriage to Kody. The past 3 years have been changing for the family, but that development came at the expense of the show losing its original base. With each of the wives living away from home, the story feels disjointed. There are a few reasons the network might opt not to continue with another season. Most glaringly, the disappointing reception of season 19. After almost 15 years on television, the show's allure has dissipated. While earlier seasons survived on the intrigue of polygamy, season 19 was disjointed and unfocused. Much of the programming involved individual conflict rather than the family unit that fans initially watched for. The most moving and effective moments were the scenes after Garrison Brown's senseless death. Those moments, especially with Janelle and Kody's son, rang sincere and real. But the majority of the rest of the season fell short. The constant melodrama of Kody's unsuccessful marriages to Mary, Janelle, and Paedon began to feel redundant, and Kody's interactions with Robyn, rather than providing depth, came across as overly staged and emotionally dull. Over the past few months, many fans have expressed dissatisfaction with season 19, with some even calling it the worst in the series. The pacing dragged, and the episodes lacked a clear narrative direction. It didn't help that Kody and Robyn seemed to have lost interest in polygamy altogether. Kody and Robyn may very well be content in their monogamous life, and that's perfectly fine. But that's not what originally attracted people to Sister Wives. The show rested on the shoulders of plural marriage. Without that, it loses its distinct perspective. Though Kody and Robyn have talked about whether or not to keep pursuing polygamy, nothing has come from it. In fact, their debate about it has left many fans frustrated and bored. Robyn once said she might consider plural marriage again, but added an ambiguous caveat. She wanted Kody to promise a good outcome, something no human can pledge. That stipulation alone indicates her heart might not be in it anymore. Robyn Brown has been open about her reservations regarding persevering with a plural marriage. She stated clearly, she does not wish to endure any additional emotional stress, associated with the lifestyle of being sister wives. And with that type of attitude, it's difficult to imagine a future for Sister Wives as the show we knew. TLC, the network responsible for Sister Wives, has a history of canceling longtime shows when their central storyline reaches its conclusion. We've watched the network phase out fan-favorite programming over the years and make room for newer series. The Family Chantel, which featured Chantel Everett and Pedro Jimeno, whose inception began with the 90-Day Fiancé franchise, is one such show. The show lasted for almost 5 years, but when Chantel and Pedro got divorced in 2022, the show ended soon after and was followed by a new spin-off. It's difficult not to compare with Sister Wives. The program has been on the air for almost 15 years, and while it's had a good run, now it looks like it's running on fumes. TLC is already trying to shake things up with newer shows, such as Polyfamily, another plural relationship show, except this time, it's with real, active, polygamous families. That realness could very well gain the viewer that Sister Wives is losing. With Kody legally and spiritually separated from Mary, Janelle, and Christine, he's no longer leading a polygamist life. And that alone goes against the very essence of what Sister Wives was originally designed to be. With that in mind, it's very believable that the network will choose to end Kody's run on TV and shut the book on the series as a whole. Even if TLC does proceed with the 20th season, it's apparent things would be very different. The Brown family is now dispersed in various states, all going off on their own individual journeys. Sewing together a coherent storyline from that would be a daunting effort. It would not feel like the Sister Wives fans originally fell in love with. More plausibly, the producers of the show can have a send-off special, a brief concluding season, or a limited series, a last chapter, whereby Mary, Janelle, and Christine each get one devoted episode to look back, give their testimonies, and close out their on-screen stint. This way, fans would be provided with the closure they've been yearning for while the series could exit gracefully.